Twisted Christian. Today I'm going to be discussing something kind of piggybacking a little bit off the last video. Most of it comes from if the crash happens before or after the dinar. And one of the things that I want to reiterate is to make sure that if this crash happens, if the global economy crashes after the RV, if we see an RV before any type of market crash, you need to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. You're going to have to be careful of how you hold your money, how you invest your money. You're going to have to be careful of how much money you give out to your family, to your friends. And if for any reason this market crash doesn't happen, maybe some of the plans that you have, you may need to kind of say, okay, wait a minute, the dinar took off, all these other currencies that I've invested in, they've all changed in value, but yet we haven't seen a crash. That's what I worry about the most. And I know I keep saying this, and that's one thing, especially for sure, you have to be very careful depending on the type of job you have, your family, because of health insurance is probably going to be your number one expense. Don't go out buying, a big house and all this stuff, and then the market crashes, and then for whatever reason you haven't invested poorly, because there's going to be a lot of people who make mistakes. There are people right now that are listening that aren't very good with their money. So you need to be prepared. Make sure to have a backup plan if all else fails. You need to make sure that a certain percentage of your investment is safe, secure, in however way you do it. Some people are going to do it with gold or silver, physical commodities, whatever the case. Just don't go out and just start spending all of your money when you get it, if the dinar takes off before the crash. My opinion, I personally believe so far it could go either way, but I'm leaning more towards that the crash will happen first. But there is a lot of talk that the Dinar RV, some of you are hoping and waiting, some of you are hoping that tomorrow it'll take off, or next week, or next month. But beware, if the Dinar RV takes off, you invest poorly, or you spend too much, or something happens, and whatever happens with the global economic crash, and you lose out. So just be very careful that when this thing does take off, whatever you do, be mindful of what you do with your money. But usually, if the Dow was to crash, now keep in mind, folks, it's only 30 companies. So it doesn't mean that every stock is going to be affected, because during bad economic times there are stocks that do take off, and there are people that do become very wealthy during those time periods, such as like the oil industry. So, and again, also to reevaluating what you currently are invested in, and do you have enough to do what you need to do. Now there's some information that's coming out, and I'll be doing videos about that coming up. There's supposed to be some dates in February that's supposed to bring about some type of change. So we'll explore those. And we're also going to be discussing what just recently happened with the Federal Reserve Chairman, Powell. For those of you who follow 17, I think you guys will really like that particular video, because it's setting up for the Federal Reserve Chairman to be replaced. All in line, in my opinion, to set us up for the gold standard. We just don't really know how things are really going to go. And I just want to make sure that you folks that are listening, waiting, and watching, that you don't lose out. A lot of people have hopes and dreams, and some of you have those hopes and dreams, and you don't want to be in a position where you're looking for the next big thing. Because once this Dinar RVs, that's it. And then all the other currencies, follow suit. It's going to be very difficult to get into another investment that brings this type of wealth. A lot of people didn't think Bitcoin would do it, but yes, there is other investments in the future. I don't want you to be in a position where you have lost everything and you're looking for the next thing to invest in. And that's the position I don't want anybody who is listening to be in. Anyways, guys, I thank you for listening. And look out all this week for new videos. And with that being said, Twisted Christian out.